anything else except for I did buy a Spider-Punk and Spider-Gwen comic. Well, the not collected edition. The trades.
Well, they are collected editions.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I didn't finish the Spider-Punk yet because I was really disinterested.
I'm assuming that's the new one, the newest one, right?
I think so.
I think it's written.
I just really don't like it.
Really? Yeah. I heard good things. The cover looks great.
It's not bad.
No,
it's just I don't like it.
I can't remember who's on the creative. I follow both of the people who are on the creative team for that because it's not it's just the newest miniseries for the character. It's not the original one of that one. It's just it just wrapped up pretty recently.
Like he just got done with the Spider-Verse stuff.
Yeah, I know.
After
I know. There's a bunch of those right now.
I collected the.
I was gonna say in the chat and then I forgot to.
Spider-Gwen.
Nice. I was gonna say in the chat and then I just didn't because I had a moment of social awareness. Because Spider-Man, of course, Marvel's doing a more than normal, a massive push for like republishing of Spider-Man and Spider-Man adjacent character omnibuses. Like they're doing another Spider-Gwen omnibus. There's a bajillion more Miles Morales collections. Like they finally have a listing for the third Ultimate Spider-Man omnibus. Like they're all of them, and they're all like November of this year to like May of next year.
Yeah, and I'm getting a 29.
I know, and there's two of those now, which it's just I just saw. I was going through the listing, and it's like, oh, they're not just reprinting all the ones that are out of print. They're doing a shit ton of new ones, which is good because that's the stuff that's the hardest to follow, and I need it in that form, or I'm not reading it.
I actually have I think all 6 of the Spider-Gwen in issues. Because it wasn't when I got them, they weren't collected.
Like the 2015 one or the
Radioactive Spider-Gwen.
Oh, that's 20. Is that the 2018 or the 20? Like
that's like the first. It's the beginning, because there's
that was 20,
there's the
2014
zero, there's the 0, and then there's those.
Yeah, it was 2014 or 2015, I think.
Radioactive Spider-Gwen.
I don't know. They always change the titling. That's one of the most annoying parts of it. Is the character is Spider-Gwen. Is we call her Spider-Gwen, but in canon it's Spider-Woman.
Actually,
and it's Ghost Spider, and
Ghost
sometimes
Spider.
It's not Ghost Spider, and then the book is sometimes called Ghost Spider. It's all over the place. It's the
worst. Right now,
thing.
it's Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider.
I know. I hate that. It's like when they do the Miles Morales : Spider-Man. It's like kill me.
Just do Spider-Man.
They will never. They should, especially because Spider-Man has been, the main Amazing run has been so bad for so long now. But yeah, they never will because...
They're racist.
I don't know. Just go watch Across the Spider-Verse. It'll tell you. Anyways.
Sony's not racist.
Sure.
I mean, their main character is like the coolest fucking one. He's literally the best Spider-Man because he outwitted everyone somehow.
Yeah, he solos.
He does. I mean, like, how?
Because good writing.
It's just because Black, he can run faster.
It's just because Lord Miller said, if you touch any of this movie, we will chop your fingers off. And then the only requirement was you need to put in a stupid little Venom cameo thing. And then they put in the stupid little Venom cameo thing, and then that was it. That was the only requirement.
At least it wasn't actually Venom.
No, it was 3 seconds. It was funny in the sequence. It is just like, damn, this is the only part of this movie that's not going to age well.
Yeah,
it was funny. I love the fact that that they had a 14-year-old, like the kid who did like the Lego redo of like the trailer, and they had on the one hand child labor laws, on the other hand that's cool as shit.
Also, yes.
Apparently the kid's dad like bought him like a whole new like computer setup so he could render it correctly, and he was doing like it seems like that's how he was like compensated. Like part of like they paid him up front, and then his dad bought him a new rig so he could do it after school when his homework was done. And it's like, that's the most wholesome thing ever.
It is.
And it's just this cute little, like, 5-second sequence. It was awesome.
And of course, I love that Miguel is like, he's like, you're one of our best Spider-Man. And it's like, it's the Lego Spider-Man is the best, one of the best ones. Of course he is.
Of course he is. I actually hate the Spider-Man Legos. They're all really ugly.
Yeah, they are.
It's like the Ninja Turtle ones, I think. They're ugly.
I'm sorry, I disagree.
You're gay.
Yep.
Anyways.
Welcome back to the Dime Comic Bros.
Why buy a comic that might cost more than a dime? Come meet the brothers who are here to waste your time.
Welcome back to the Dime Comic Bros podcast.
Collin,
I am one of your co-hosts, Collin.
Collin, poopy butthole.
You're a poopy butthole.
I am a poopy butthole.
I am one of your hosts, Collin. And this is Spencer, our other co-host.
No, it's poopy butthole.
It's Mr. Poopy Butthole.
I am.
Mr.
I can't do
Poopy...
that. I can't do that voice.
I'm not even going to try.
Yeah, don't even try. We are not joined by Jacob today. He is on yet another top secret super spy mission to...
Loot Quest.
Yeah, he
I think we should
needs
just.
he needs to steal Vladimir Putin's heart out of his chest. He'll be back.
Oh my
and
gosh.
the war will be over.
So I think we should just start calling it Loot Quests instead of Spy Missions because it just sounds funny, and
So
also
funny.
it is very Jacob.
He is
very Jacob.
Currently,
for him.
he has a podcast on. The game volume is turned down, and he's just grinding through caves for loot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He's
100%.
right
And
now.
of course, for him, he dodged a bullet because this week we are talking about the End of Evangelion.
I wouldn't say dodge a bullet.
For Jacob, he dodged a bullet. Despite the fact
Okay.
that I know he liked it, he has so many and also no thoughts at the same time because he has no fucking clue what the hell he just watched. And I think that that's really funny for him. So I think the litmus test for this episode is one, you're gonna need to do the plot summary because I like listening to you give shit plot summaries. And then two,
Fuck you.
how well we can explain what this movie means is for Jacob's benefit. You know, we're gonna treat him like a baby because he is our baby boy until you're not here, and then you are Jacob and I's baby boy. I am no one's baby boy. It just doesn't happen.
Oh yeah, sure, okay. I'll call Rachel. She'll be right over to slap you in the face, you little baby boy.
He's actually gonna probably be here sometime soon.
I know.
How do you know that?
I figured.
Jacob, cut this out, obviously.
Nope.
3 weeks later.
That's why I like it. It's so funny.
You're fucked
Jacob,
up.
keep cutting this out. But that's what makes
He's not gonna cut that part.
No, it's no context. It's just really funny.
Many months later.
Okay, Jacob, cut here.
Talking about tits.
Oh gosh.
Never mind. Cut that out. Cut that
Please
out.
no.
Jacob, please cut that out.
So, End of Evangelion is a redux half compilation sequel thing to the End of Evangelion, the TV show. It's a remake-ish of the last 2 episodes.
Cut out episode 24 and 25. Or is there 26?
25 and
episodes?
26.
Cut out 25 and 26, and this is the visual manifestation of the like internal what's it about 25 and 26. 25 and 26 were very. I actually don't like those ones.
So we are opposite sides of the coin on this one.
Yeah, we are. I don't like those ones because it's too vague and it's not bad. It's just I like the actual like, oh, the world's physically ending, everything's fucked because the show is fucked.
Yes.
There, in my brain, there's no redemption for anyone in this entire series. They never show it. They never show they want it. It's just they're in a constant state of we are this. We're not going to grow.
I have mixed feelings on both. I think I think the 2 endings or 2 potential endings do work well together on like a metatextual level. Like it's a cool analysis of like endings and like someone I don't remember who it was. I think it was like a Dan Olson like YouTube essay video. It's like the membrane between author and audience. Like like no art is created in a vacuum. Like because of the feedback that was given, because a lot of fans didn't like the ending of the show, then Anno made End of Evangelion basically as a massive middle finger to everybody. And then it turns out that most of them liked it anyways. And it's a really bizarre story because
It is very bizarre.
long story short, the show ran out of money and the ratings were going down. And he was coming out of his depressive period and then made the last 2 episodes. Seemingly he did almost all of that animation himself, which is really cool. I really do like those episodes. I get what you're saying. Like, I definitely get wanting
I don't hate them. Let me say I don't hate them, but I'm also of the mind that both of those happen at the same time. 25 and 26.
A lot of people do have
yes,
the
25 and 26 is they both that and End of Evangelion exist at the same time.
Yeah, because at 25 and 26 basically all take place inside of Shinji's mind, and I don't think that necessarily works, but I get why people want it to work.
So I believe it works,
it's a headcanon thing.
Yes,
absolutely.
It is. Where I believe it works is like when everyone's turned to slush.
Yeah.
Because the only way for you to come back is for you to will yourself, which is what happened to Asuka and Shinji.
Yeah.
They willed themselves back. So in that time that he did not will, like he was just in there, that happens, and he came back, and then he saw Asuka, and he's like, well, fuck it, I'm going to kill you. Like, weird shit.
So Anno made the ending that he wanted, but he did it in a very different animation style with a very different vibe because they had no time and money. And I think I think they're they're probably my favorite episodes outside of, what was it? It was like 12 or 13 I really liked.
Yeah.
they're not great to just watch on their own, but I
No.
think it's such a really cool display of like really good expressionism done with anime elements. And I just very cool vibes and stuff. But I get what you're saying, that a lot of the outside of the literal final sequence where everyone's clapping for Shinji deciding that he wants to live, outside of that part, most of it is, I wouldn't say subtle, but it's a lot less clear exactly what's going on, for sure. So the fans kind of revolted for a bunch of different reasons. I think there's we didn't like the ending because the animation changed and all that stuff. I think that's an entirely valid reason to not like it. That's fine. That's like a difference of artistic opinions. Like it's a limitation that the show had to deal with, but like that doesn't necessarily mean that that's like the good ending. That's fine. And then there was mostly what Anno took it as was a lot of the otakus did not get the point of the show being primarily about stop being fucking weird about girls, you weirdos. And then because they were so just weird about the way that the show actually ended, and they didn't get the fucking point. Like when he made End of Evangelion, just lays all of it out and is like, there's sequences of the characters just not even really being characters. They're just mouthpiecing like ideologies back and forth at each other, which I love. It's really funny for me, but like it just spells out like, yeah, Shinji's a piece of crap. He literally jerked off on top of a coma patient because he's possessive of her. Like, it's a really bizarre way to start off a movie, but like it makes the point really obvious of like, because you guys are possessive of literal children. You guys are all pedos. What's wrong with you?
Yes, because I think it sounds fucked up, but I think that was great to convey, because even though it's disgusting, obviously everything about that is disgusting, but people
are stupid.
The fans, the otakus, the otakus needed to see that Shinji is you, and this is what you're doing.
Yeah,
on a child.
It's gross.
You're a fictional child.
A fictional child who's unconscious. It's gross. Yeah, it definitely is. I think the part where I commend the movie for doing that. I commend it for just going, okay, so you wanted like the plot ending, not like, the story ending. You wanted the plot. Okay, fine. The world fucking blows up. Fuck you. Everything goes to shit. And then everyone's a piece of crap. Fuck you. And then just like walks off. Like I appreciate it like 100%. It definitely is fun to watch in that sense. But I think it does lose the nuance of the show. Like that's why I like the show, is even though it's an anime has like no nuance at all. For an anime, it's somewhat nuanced in its themes. Because of the longer runtime, it kind of subtle-ish threads in ideas about like possessiveness and, war and blah, blah, blah. And then like it's just frustrating.
I think another reason why I do really like it is because there are still so many fans who do not understand that what the point was to be like, fuck you. Or not just the fuck you. Even I didn't understand that. I didn't know it was a fuck you, but I just totally saw that it was like this is a visual representation of the fan base, and that's why I liked it. And a lot of people just didn't see that. I liked it for that, and also I liked it because I like plot endings. I do. No, I get that. Despite my artistic brain is like, yeah, go off Queen, go off on them haters. Like there's a bit of me that's like, yeah, no, you're stupid. You shouldn't want a plot ending like this, because the show isn't really about the setting; it's about the characters. Yes.
The important part is the character ending. But also, yeah, give me the big robot ending. Like, I of course I want that. It's big and dumb, and action is great. And I think the budget really does flex off hard in this movie, because it looks better than the rest of the show by a long stretch.
Yeah.
But it's weird because it's like it's a weird microcosm. And that's why I like this, but I can't. My feelings are always in flux about it. I've seen it. I think this is my third time now. Because like particularly the sequence where all the female characters are basically all.
This might have been my second or third.
Really?
Yeah, I've watched the show more than I've watched the end of Evangelion.
Weird.
Because I've never finished the show to get there again.
Huh? Strange. But like the sequence where all the women and girls are literally just pointing and making fun of Shinji and being like, "You're fucking gross. What the hell's wrong with you?" Like. I love that sequence because it is such it's not hitting the nail on the head. It's taking a nail and then smashing the moon on top of it.
Yes.
But also, they're not really characters at that point. They're just a mouthpiece. And I think I just always have kind of mixed feelings about that with like any type of art or medium where it's like it is so clearly just the author or the writer or whatever just talking to the audience. And it's like I commend the not bravery necessarily, but like the boldness to just do it.
The right word.
But it does mean it. I think it doesn't hold up as like a. It makes it less timeless in a sense because the time capsule element of like the discourse around all this is one of the reasons why the show has sticking power for sure, is like the conversations about the otakus and the ending. Like that's one of the reasons why the show has such a long lasting legacy, but also that means it carries along with, you can't just watch. I don't think you get the full enjoyment if you just watch the show or watch the show and then watch the movie. Like you need to engage with the conversation, go online, like look at the different opinions. Like I think that's part of the experience. And it's cool because it kind of puts you in that headspace of when the show came out and the movie came out. But also it means you can't just enjoy the thing on its own. Like I like both things for different reasons. And this is me having contradictory opinions on my own. But like, it's just frustrating for me,
Right.
if that makes any sort of sense.
No,
Like,
I get that.
Like I'm going to do it. Part of the enjoyment of watching the Snyder Cut is because of the discourse, all the shit coalescing all at once. Even though I think that works much better just as a movie. The movie isn't about the movie itself, you know. But like,
It's the same
I
thing
don't
that's
think-
happening.
in a sense, I don't think you get the full enjoyment out of it without like knowing what the hell happened to get to that point. Like the new additional ending that they reshot doesn't impact you the same way because you don't know why they wrote it like that, if that makes any sense. I do this every episode, I know.
I know.
I don't know. I like the show's ending and I like the movie. It just makes me feel more conflicted after watching the movie.
I like the show ending and I like the movie ending, but whenever I rewatch the show, I always just go straight to the movie. I skip episode 25 and 26.
Weird. I think that's what a lot of people end up doing.
Yes.
I just think
That's
it's
what I did on my
odd.
first watch.
Really?
Because of who I was introduced, like who introduced me to the show in the movie, told me to skip those two and then go to the movie.
Weird.
And I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then eventually I watched the two episodes. I'm like, I don't like this at all. And then during this rewatch, I was like, this isn't bad. This makes sense. Because I think even this, sometimes it takes a couple of rewatches to really let it like settle in, like marinate. And,
You mean like
understand?
Yeah, like the cum sinking into the sheets.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Fucker. Disgusting piece of shit.
Yeah, seriously, disgusting.
It is disgusting.
No, for sure. It's just, I don't know. It leaves me with more of a,
I love the fake biblical ending.
well, yeah,
I
like
love
that.
the fake
I
biblical
like that.
stuff.
Of course I like that. That's like my jam. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. The show ending, despite it being really not pretentious, but like very in my own brain, very heady and whatnot, it leaves me feeling good. And not just because the show is the good ending and the movie is the bad ending, but like the show does end on the note of like, despite the world literally ending around you, you can still choose to live. And you can still choose to live for yourself and not rely on other people's, validation.
Right.
The movie ending is more realistic or whatever. But
Now, I have a hard time remembering like exactly where things stop because the scene that they're trying to escape from Nerve and Misato kisses Shinji and says we'll do more adult things later. Like, so that's a huge discourse. When I first saw that, I'm like, that's a little fucked up. But also, I was told that it's a way to like motivate him to get out of there and stop being a bitch. And she's not saying this to like yeah, we're gonna do this, but it's literally like a life or death thing.
it is,
But you don't also have to do that to.
no, it is. I
promote
was going
this.
to try to avoid the discourse button, but yeah, no.
I'm fine with talking about that.
I know, it's just, it makes it more about the controversy than it does about the whole thing. But no, with that, Masato is a piece of shit. She's my piece of shit.
I like
But
her.
like, yes, no, she's
But
a
she
great
is a
character.
piece
She's
of
a great
shit.
character. I think the show, because it does kind of walk the line a bit better about like, she is willingly putting children in danger. She is manipulating them, but she does care about them. And quite often she does take the kid's side over Nerve's side. But with the movie ending, it's just I don't think Basato is literally sitting here like I'm gonna screw this child.
No,
later.
she's literally
definitely
trying
not.
to just get him out of there.
But I don't think that was a good choice. Not on her part, on like the writer's part. Just like you could have done that so many different ways. I get it because it's one of those like other things do that. It
feels like it is what the character would do though.
I know it's just one of those things where for me, I think sometimes it's okay to write character actions as slightly out of character when it makes it, I don't know, moderately less problematic.
Yeah,
I think there's
guess
just
so.
if you can't find a better way to do it, you wrote yourself into this corner. You should write yourself out of it. I think as an artist, I think that's your own problem. Like that's just a preference thing, and every case is different. It's just like you put your characters in this situation. Like yeah, you have to figure out a way out of them. Like I don't know. It's just it makes it go like and it's because it's one of those things like other shows, movies. Obviously, anime does this a lot. That is a trope of the older woman character who the main protagonist is into, she's like, wow, that's adorable. I don't care, like whatever. And then like because it's like a motivating factor. Like she is lying to him, obviously.
Yes.
But like, I don't even think the conversation about whether or not that's like the right heroic decision to be like, I'm going to manipulate this child. So
It's not heroic at all.
No, it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like the point, I guess, is to have the conversation about whether or not she made not the right ethical choice in the moment, but like the utilitarian choice. And it's like, I don't even find that interesting because she just kissed a child.
Yeah.
It just distracts so much from the point that I think it's trying to make. Like, just don't do it. It's like when the show has yikesy moments, or like any other anime, when it's like, trust me, this 4-second shot of Asuka's breasts are very relevant to the plot. It's like, no, it's not. I know what you're trying to do, but like, there's a better way to do this.
Yes, sir.
And and Evangelion definitely does that
or
a
the
lot.
shot of Shinji coming out of the shower. It's literally like,
Yeah, no,
what the fuck? And they do the same thing with Asuka. It's like, why?
Yeah, it's like the Evangelion definitely does this infinitely better than most anime does, like by a long stretch.
See, I know that,
But
this is why
come on.
it's like one of the only quote unquote yikesy animes I'll ever like
defend. Yeah,
defend, because there's a lot of really good shit about it, because the creator has a lot of really good fucking points.
Yeah,
and he's still very interesting, and there's a lot of things he does touch up, especially in the manga, which is another like better thing.
at some point I do kind of want to dive into that just out of curiosity.
I mean, I could let you borrow.
Let me borrow it.
But there are still a lot of really good things. Like the animation's fucking phenomenal, like with the fights. And,
absolutely.
And just a lot of the dialogue. It's a hard time, even though I've literally just watched this recently. My brain is fuzzy on like what parts are from the show and what parts are from the movie. Like where it ends in the show. To like,
I think that's definitely because your first experience was jumping into the movie. For sure. I think that's what makes it so much more blurry.
Because the fight scene where Asuka fights all the, what you calls it, the big white semen monsters with the giant.
Yeah, the big white semen monsters.
Yeah, that's in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that fucking scene is like one of my favorites ever, because the action and how Asuka, it just shows how Asuka's amazing, but also where your point a couple weeks ago about where she was probably supposed to be the main character was so prevalent in that scene. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
And also just how she went out was, I remember when I first ever watched that scene, my jaw just dropped. I'm like, it was so unexpected for me.
Yeah.
The entire movie was.
Especially because her character arc in the show and the movie is about losing her ability to do the only thing that has made her special. The only thing that's given her attention in her entire life. Like, Asuka, despite being a really obnoxious character, is, I think, the most consistently written character because she has those really contradictory points. Every human does. She wants attention, but she doesn't really want attention. She doesn't want you to be weird, but also she will, in fact, use her overdeveloped body to get your attention because she doesn't have attention. Like, it's a knowing contradiction
typical,
thing. And
like, teenage girl action.
It's like, it's just the... I think that makes for a lot more interesting, like, protagonist arc of, like, it's a negative one. Not just because, well, Shinji's is also a negative one with the movie ending because he goes fucking insane. Like Paul in Dune. Like, I like the negative character arc, where it's like, congrats, you went evil mode.
I like
that. And I think I like also negative character growth in the way of like Asuka, where it's like you lose what makes you special, and you have to find ways to live with that. And she doesn't.
No,
it's a misery pit.
That's why
I find that really interesting. I think that would have been a much more interesting and engaging focus for the protag of the story versus the shell character as your self-insert. Even though I like Shinji and I will defend Shinji.
Wow.
Not his action. I mean, like, as a character. Like,
wow.
I don't like him. I
know. No, but I'm still surprised because I could have sworn going into this recording that we were, like, same page about everything, and I fucking hate Shinji in every single fucking way.
No,
There's
I mean,
not one thing.
No, I mean, like, I hate his choices, and I hate he's a piece of crap. I mean, I will defend the character being written that way. That's what I mean. Like, I think I think it's a good thing to do.
Because it's literally just a fan insert.
Right.
Yes. Which you literally just said.
Right. But that's also what makes it complicated, is because in the show, Shinji is Anno's self-insert. In the movie, it's the audience. And I think that's part of the disconnect, is because him finding a happy ending, even though the world is ending and everything's going to hell, in the show was Anno coming out of his depressive period and finding more meaning in life by making a show about depression, ironically enough. Versus
that is how it works, though.
It is.
From experience, that is how it works.
Right. Versus the movie is like, no, Shinji is you, pathetic loser. And it's like, I like both. I just... And that's one of the reasons why I was theoretically interested in the rebuilds, because I think restructuring and tweaking the whole approach is a good idea. And then it turns out seemingly almost all of it's just pedo bait. So still not going anywhere near that. But like,
I really need to rewatch because I
I think you do.
I really just don't see it.
It's, bro, there's like 5-minute thigh and ass sequences of children in space.
I remember a lot of Masato.
It's definitely, there's more of it in general, but there's too much of it. The show already made me too uncomfortable. The bits of rebuilds I've caught have made me want to throw up. Even though the animation looks really pretty. Just no shot.
No, so what makes me want to throw up is that literally Asuka is like 28, but her body is still a child. It's like,
yeah, that's what I mean. Is like, it's doing the she's a 9,000-year-old dragon god who just happens to be a lolly. No.
Yeah.
That's pedo shit. I don't like it. Fuck you.
There was literally no plot need for that.
No thanks.
They made the plot do that.
Yeah, you wrote that decision. That was dumb. And also, just no.
Okay, so
anyways,
moving on.
Did you watch End of Evangelion? Do you watch this dub or sub? Because this is
I watched the entire show and the movie in dub.
We talked about it when we watched the show.
Yeah.
But I was seeing if the movie, because I watched this for this rewatch, I did watch this dubbed. And I think the dub of this is really good, especially when you compare it to the dub of the show. The original dub and the Netflix dub are both not great. They're fine.
The original dub is way better, actually, than the Netflix dub.
Oh, yeah, but they're both like in the realm of like not great. It's like, it's like watching the Akira dub. It's not good.
Here's the good thing about Netflix, though. I've watched the original because I'm a pirate, and the Netflix cuts out some things you really don't need to see, and which is very nice, surprisingly.
It is, but also they cut out the outro song, so
yeah, that's fucked up.
Unexcusable. No, I know. Jacob ended up watching the Netflix dub, so he got the worst experience. Any
sub is better than dub.
I know,
for the most part,
but yeah, no, of course it is. It's just that's a lot. They're long movies, and also reading while also the 14-year-old's boobies are on screen is a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry for you. That's a lot. You have my condolences.
Thank you.
I just think I'm going to rewatch the show a lot more than I'm going to rewatch the movie.
Oh, dude, I've watched each movie once.
I am curious about, there's the movie that they released, which was basically like a compilation of the show. I'm just curious to poke into it. I'm not saying it's useful. I get the idea of why you'd want to do it. I'm just kind of curious how it turned out.
I don't even get why they would want to do that. It's like a recap for the movie or whatever.
Basically, yeah. Which was released actually before End of Evangelion, because they didn't want to force people to watch almost all of the show and then watch the movie. It was like, just here's all the important stuff from the show, which it is just a full feature length recap of the show.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I'm not saying it was good. I haven't looked at it, so I'm kind of curious.
It annoyed me.
I also heard that there was some additional stuff in there that wasn't in the original show, and I
don't remember.
I just want to look into it out of curiosity.
I'll have to rewatch.
Banger poster for this movie.
Oh yeah, I have
My final thought.
I cannot find a fucking frame for it.
Really? What
Yeah.
size poster is it?
I don't know because I found like a.
Is it like normal poster? Is it bigger?
I'm pretty sure.
Then you can just go to like.
I went to Walmart and you know the poster aisle.
Yeah.
I got a frame from there.
Yeah.
Poster too big.
Oh, I don't remember the measurements. It's like 37 by 42 or something. It's what they put in actual movie theaters. It's a different size poster. Like the normal posters are, it's the 24 by 36, which in reality is like 31 by.
So what
whatever.
poster should I get?
Okay, pull up. Do you remember that Doctor Strange poster I had in my room? Yeah. It's an Alex Ross piece.
Okay, yeah.
It's bigger. It's that size. I don't remember the specific numbers. I might be able to.
But you literally just said like one.
It's
the
regular when you buy I go to Five Below. I buy a Star Wars poster.
Yeah.
It's the frame you want is I think it's 24 by 36.
Yeah.
The actual poster is like an inch shorter on each side.
Yes.
That's like the real measurement. There's a size above that. I don't remember what it is. It's like 40 something by 30 something. I don't remember. If you can find it, and that's probably what it is.
You said it's like theater.
Yeah, like that's what like most of the time, like the posters theaters get sent are that size.
Theater poster frames.
Something like that, most likely.
27 by 41.
Maybe.
I'm getting 30 by 40. I think
it's
got
the first
24 by 36 too.
Weird. I don't know.
I'll have to
just
look
go
it up.
to like a big Walmart and then you can fuck around because they'll have more.
Our
frames.
Walmart has a shit ton of frames.
I know. Just find the bigger one, or just bring the poster in.
I really don't want to do that because I don't want to look like I've like stolen something. That's why I don't bring anything in.
I know. I don't either. It's just sometimes it's a necessity.
Yeah.
So, moving on from Amine. And also speaking of Doctor Strange.
Oh boy, of course.
I read Strange Volume 2. It is issues 6 through 10 of the 2022. It was originally announced as an ongoing, but it's effectively a limited series. It's the series that follows Clea Strange taking over the role of Sorcerer Supreme while Steven is, dead. But he's not really dead.
Obviously.
Well, I mean, he is dead, but...
Not really.
Sort of. So it wraps up the story. And this is my biggest gripe with this book is I think this was supposed to be 12 plus issues, and they were told to wrap it in 10. Because it's a trade of 6 issues, and there's a trade of, 4. It's the balance between the two trades is weird. And usually if it was announced as a limited series, so, limited is usually 6 issues, and then, a maxi series is up to 12. Usually it's announced like that. It's stated, this is the plan. And then they just cut this thing, and then the new 2023 Doctor Strange #1 kicked off with they're both leading the book now, which I'm currently reading and I love. And it just bugs me because this really feels like the story is really cool. It's about obviously Clea is she got that dog in her, She's a bit of a crazy bitch. Steve married up is all I'm saying. So she's a little psycho, and she is going sicko mode on a lot of people. There's a bunch of plot stuff, and I think it's a really cool book. I really like this. It just feels like it got crammed in way too fast. So it's written by Jed MacKay. He's been the head of the Doctor Strange, Moon Knight area of Marvel Comics for a couple of years now, and I think he's doing a really good job on the whole, despite some rough stuff here and there. He has a really good balance of plot and fun banter. Typically speaking, his Doctor Strange or this book Strange, they're not the most deep Doctor Strange books, but they are very fun. And I'm not even saying that in the it's a good roller coaster. They're really fun. They're focused on the magic looking cool, the plots being really wacky, and the characters being very fun to read. The banter is strong, the character writing is cool. The logistics don't matter quite as much. And I think that's a good type of book to have. Not every book has to be dummy serious and super logistically tight. Not everything has to be a Tom King book, The dynamic between Stephen and Clea, is in plenty of other books, but I think the marriage dynamic is at its strongest here because they're very different people. Like, as an example, this would be kind of like if Mon Mothma and what's his name? Father Skarsgård's character in Andor. Fuck. The best character whose name
The
I
best
know.
character who had the best fucking line in all of Star Wars.
It would be like if those two characters got married. That's the dynamic. Except Steven is Mon Mothma, and Clea is Father Skarsgård's character. Who's I feel so bad because he's a great character. He's one of my favorite Star Wars characters.
He's
And I
one of
just
mine
can't
now,
remember his name. But it's like that dynamic. Like their mannerisms are very different. Their opinions are different. Arguably a lot of their values are very different, and it makes for an interesting marriage because they really do love each other. Not even like they love each other but they'll never be able to actually make it work, and not like a Batman Catwoman thing where like it really is a will they won't they stuff all the time. It's like a somehow they love each other enough to make it work, and it's impressive because like she's just murderous.
Hot.
Yes, but he's like, I will do no harm, I don't kill people unless I absolutely have to. Like, you know, he has to talk her out of like killing goons. It's great. Strange, it's a spoiler, but you and Jacob don't really care. Stephen is the harvestman in this book and the last one. The big twist is Stephen is dead, but he is being contracted sort of by death, you know, booby skeleton lady, to complete contracts, basically be Ghost Rider. Just get souls for me, and after a while, I'll let you go back to life and see your wife. So he's like, looks like the Grim Reaper. He's got like bandages and shit. He's got a scythe. It's really fun. He looks super cool. And that's a really fun, it's just a fun dynamic. And it also means that he has to fight differently because he's not using the same types of magic. He's using a lot of melee weapons. It's really cool. I just really wish he was allowed to stay dead longer. Obviously, the usual when a comic character dies, they come back a bit too soon for the impact to be felt. I think he was only believed to be dead in Marvel Comics for like 6 months, roughly. I feel like a full year would have been better. Like, we know he's going to come back, but make it more believable, please. Just try. Especially because the Death of Doctor Strange crossover comic was really good for the most part. I really believed it. So it's just disappointing that this kind of got wrapped up so quickly. The art is done by Marcel Ferreira, like the first 5 issues. It's really, really good. Just, it's sharp and vibrant. The colors pop. The characters are really lively looking. The facial expressions are done really well. The character like outlines are very strong. They all have a really unique design. You can tell really easily during action sequences, in shadows, in silhouettes. It looks really, really good. I bought this for $16-ish, like cover price. I really wish the series was bigger, like on the whole, because this definitely felt undervalued. I like every issue in here. The book was a little much cost-wise for what I got out of it. I want all of this to be collected in one book. Like, it's 10 issues. Make a new trade, for fuck's sake. It's like the Gerard Way Nick Darrington Doom Patrol run was in 2 trades, and then after 10 years, they released it in 1. Do that, but now, please. Like, then I'll buy it. And then I'll buy it again. Because it's really good. The covers are really good. It's all pretty. It's lame. I don't like that. Collin, have you read a Doctor Strange book this week?
I have not read a Doctor Strange book.
That's sad.
I am trying to figure out what I have done. Because it's one of those weeks again where oh, fuck. I was going to finish... Oh my god! Fuck!
That's nice.
I was going to finish The Authorities Volume 2. And I was trying to work through Witchfinder. I've been watching Game of Thrones, but I'm not going to talk about that. Ask me a question.
Oh, fuck you. I had 3 things this week. Come on.
Are we talking about 3 things?
That's what
No.
That's what it calls
2.
for. No, because we don't have a show.
That's fine.
That's our format.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. We do.
Jacob and I don't do that.
That's because you guys just fuck all when I'm not here.
Yeah.
No, that's the
Yeah, no, we're fucking all right now.
We do 3,
no, we
and
fuck.
if we're doing a show, it knocks off 1.
No,
and
we
if we
fuck.
all watch a movie or we do a
wrong,
collective
fuck.
talk...
I like how you're saying all these things.
I planned all this for months. I had it all planned out and it was scheduled. I had all my shit lined up. The way I read Future State led to
Why
this
would you
for-
do that?
Because I read a lot of stuff and I wanted to have a nice themed week. I've been reading a lot of Doctor Strange books and I wanted to get it all in on a nice condensed nugget. Deadman
Ooh,
versus the Spectre.
fuck. Okay.
Both
Shit.
non-corporeal, possessive
And they're
demon
both,
boys.
And they're both in DC.
That is correct. I'm so proud of you for
Who would
knowing that.
win?
Yes.
Okay,
Tell me
so-
why they're fighting and who would win.
So the motivations for Spectre are always to do with like almost like the greater good balance of everything. That's what it seems like anytime I've seen him in any media at all. And then Deadman, I remember I first saw him in Batman Brave and the Bold, and his whole it was in Batman Brave and the Bold.
That's such a weird intro for a character.
Almost every single DC character that's like not a normal character, I was introduced through Batman Brave and the Bold, which is not bad.
No, Brave and the Bold is awesome. That's
Yeah,
just
it
such an
was.
odd thing.
Isn't it? But like his whole motivation when we were first introduced was that he needed Batman's help to find his killer, and because he was an acrobatic circus man, and he died basically the same way that Robin's parents died, but somehow he became like a ghost transcending his body and time and whatever. So the reason for the battle would have to be that it would take place sometime after Deadman figuring out who killed him.
Damn.
And he like got revenge or whatever. And for him to be involved with the Spectre, I don't think he would necessarily need a body, because the Spectre is just
Ghost battle.
yeah, it'd be like a 7-page just fight. There's no motivation in the beginning.
I think there's a really good motivation. Let me tell it to you.
Hold on. There's no beginning motivation. What we do is we open up with a fight, and they're just fighting in this weird cosmic space-time, and there's a lot of like Kirby crackling in the background.
Ooh, I love Kirby crackles.
Me too. The Kirby Mike Mignola crackle. So it's like a little bit darker and stuff like that. And they're probably talking about something to do with like Deadman's probably trying to stop something that's like basically a canon event, and it wouldn't be said like that, but it's like he would just say it's like a fixed point in time. Like the Spectre would say it's like a fixed point in time. Nothing can be done about this. You are not allowed. And it would be something to do with that and some like panels of whatever it is they're talking about, and they just fight. And I think whatever they're fighting, like what they're fighting against each other, but the thing that like one of them's trying to stop and one of them's trying not, just like bursts into existence, and it's like another non-corporeal, like Lovecraftian type of thing.
Ghost spermies.
Yeah, pretty much. So what was your
I thought of this on the fly because I'm cool like that. So Deadman wants revenge, right? Right. The Spectre is like God's voice with people, sort of. Not really, but kind of. Revenge is cringe. There you go. Deadman wants revenge. Spectre is like, nah, fam. God says no. And then eventually Spectre realizes that he's being overly protective. Humanity can do its own thing, and Deadman impresses him with his human resolve or something like that. Because, of course.
I like that one better.
But also still, revenge is cringe.
I do like
So
that
they
better.
both learn from each other.
And you could just see him like stalk. It's just Deadman stalking the guy, because I would think it would like be that he already knows who he is and he's just stalking him, and then Spectre's just like trying to stop him or like talking to him, and eventually like at the last second,
Yes.
and like the guy who killed him doesn't even know that he's there. It's just at the last second he's about to kill him.
They're just
and they just say the Spectre says something poetic, and
They're having ghost battles through invisible buildings. They're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
having a good old punch
no,
up.
not fighting, just
and-
talking the entire time. It's just pacing.
They're just
the
they're
entire
just
comic's
special-
pacing.
Special children.
7 pages.
They're just
another comic idea for
They're
me
just
to draw.
drifting through building spaces.
Yes.
You're very special.
That was a good one. I liked that a lot. That gave me some ideas.
Piss baby.
Well, what else have you sucked dick for?
Wow. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So like I said, I've been doing a lot of Doctor Stranging lately. And I read Strange, The Doctor is Out. It's written by Mark Waid, who is a Doctor Strange vet, with art by Emma Rios, someone who I've never encountered before, and I'm not really going to be looking forward to in the future.
Oh boy.
It's a 4-issue miniseries from 2010, surprisingly enough. Okay, Collin, you'll definitely know what I'm talking about. You know Japanese manga light novels, right? This felt like a light novel. And
I've never read one of those, but those things are just absolutely. I just know they are like terminally online. People.
It's a vibe thing, and it's so bizarre because basically, it's Doctor Strange finding some random girl who's magically relevant to the plot, and he, yada. It's his new apprentice, whatever.
Eat ass.
A lot of this plot was incoherent, and most of this was really, really disappointing from a writing perspective because I really like Mark Waid. Waid is a really well-respected writer, and like I said, he's a Doctor Strange veteran, so I'm not sure what the hell happened with this story. And not just on a writing level, but also the art felt like a light novel, which is really a vibes thing. It felt like a YA anime, but bad. And I really hate ragging on people's art because I can't do it, but Emma Rios really does have talent. Like, I don't want to deny that. There's a lot of talent. I get the vibe that she's going for. I looked at some of her other stuff, like on her Instagram, and she like has really good visuals. It's just really not up my alley. I can't get into it. And this seemed to be one of her first like major big comic publisher books, and I think it shows. It feels really amateurish, and I know that's a lot of like buzzwords and vibes that I don't have the words to define, but it was really hard to read. The dialogue and the art really fed into the same feeling of being underbaked and like, was this written for 10-year-old girls? And not to just be like, wow, 10-year-old girls don't like anything good, but like,
they don't.
I hate just going back to that type of a standby, but it was like, I don't know what this was even supposed to be. None of the characters have ever had any other relevance to any other Marvel characters I can ever tell. They're just a bunch of random people that they made for this book. They all feel like flat caricatures. Strange feels like a caricature. The actual protag of the story, whose name I don't even remember, is boring. I don't like her. Every once in a while, there's a halfway decent like line of dialogue, but just I don't know what this was. I wouldn't say this is the worst thing I've read this year, because some of those DC Future State Gotham issues, like I said at the end, were legit some of the worst comics I've ever read. Sorry. This was definitely the worst thing that I would still call art, if that makes sense. It doesn't belong in the dumpster bin of history, but this was pretty fucking bad. I spent $20 on this book. I'm never reading this again. It's a waste of space, and it's staying on my shelf forever. The cover is really cool. I don't remember who does the cover art, and it is nothing like the inside of the book.
I hate that.
Not even because the art styles are different. I expect a comic cover is not the interior art, but the vibe is different. It's so bizarre.
That is my biggest gripe with comics, is that they have comic book covers that are not like the same art style. The only time I find it acceptable, is the Hellboy universe, because we all know Mike does the covers for all of them.
Well, yeah.
And we all know that there's different art styles in the universe, and he barely doesn't do the art ever anymore. So it's acceptable because they all visually look the same because they're all in the same universe. So visually, it's great for the shelf too.
Yeah. It's one of those, like, I get, it's really frustrating sometimes. I expect American comics to do it because it's expected. I just want the tone to be similar. Like, I know cover art most of the time is going to be infinitely higher effort than interior art. That's not to smack on interior artists at all, but you could even have, I don't know, one of my favorite current working artists, like Jorge Jimenez. Mm-hmm. His interior art is almost the same as his cover art. The cover art still has way more effort put into it because it's a cover. It's the selling point. It's way more. It's got more effort. It's got a lot more time sunk into it. The visual layout's different. It's expected. But like this, the cover and the title, it's not even Doctor Strange. It's Strange.
What the fuck?
It sounds like a Marvel Knights book, like some random, cool, dark, edgy thing. And the cover kind of gives me that vibe. And then I read the thing and I'm like, is this made for 10-year-olds? Because and also the coloring is god-awfully vibrant. I don't even know what happened here. It's very odd.
Gross.
And it's weird because, again, I went and looked at her work and, like, I don't dislike her work. It's really not for me. But, like, there's definitely a talent there, for sure. And, yeah, this book was 13 years ago, but holy crap. That's rough.
Bad.
And I bought it for $20 off of Amazon. Whew. It's also because the book is out of print, and this might be why it's out of print. Doctor Strange has only had, like, a few miniseries. That's why I'm reading all of them right now. It's because there's, like, less than 10 of them. But, whew, that was rough. You know who's not rough? Our patrons.
What?
Over at patreon.com/dimecomicbros network.
Did you just do 2 talking points and I only did 1 versus?
Yes. That's what we do half the time anyways, and you never care. Because
I don't think I ever noticed until now.
No, we definitely do it sometimes. Because I have actual stuff to talk about, but I'm not going to keep droning on and on and on and on. I'm not
Thank you, Dad.
And I'm just going to interrogate you for 20 minutes straight, because then you get bored. It would be silly of me.
This is true.
It'd be very silly.
I am reading the Darth Vader Black, White, and Blood.
Of course
Because
you are.
the issue... Okay, hold on. I want to tell you right now. No, hold on. Shut the fuck up. Even the second book, all the art is fucking phenomenal.
You're going to be creaming over this book.
I think this is going to be the only... So far, it's only 2 issues, but so far, it's looking like it's the only black, red and white, black, white, and red, like, series that's consistently good.
That's fair. So it has been looking really good. I am holding back. I just want the big treasury edition.
Me too. That's
I think
not
the third
only
issue is
one I
coming
buy.
out like next week.
Well,
That's nice. So our patrons over at patreon.com/dimecomicbros network, Caitlin and Jeff Lawrence, are not rough. They're very sweet to us. They're very kind. Except Jeff, he violates Collin all the time.
he violated me last night when I came over because I came over to hang out and I was going in for like a hug, like, hey, bro. And he like jumped right into me. I'm like, oh, boy.
I thought you were going to say that he like wrapped his hand around and like up your ass, but okay.
No, that's just normal.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. If you want to help support this show and I guess get to grope Collin,
Okay. No, hold on. No. We're not. No. Don't say that because we know that there's American otakus. Otakos.
but Collin, $5,
No.
$10,
Maybe.
$20.
$20 is $20.
If you want to help financially support this show, we would greatly appreciate it. We are the Dime Comic Bros, despite the fact that I have wasted a lot of money on a really bad Doctor Strange book recently.
I have also wasted a lot of money on a lot of things.
Only Jacob actually tries to get discounts on books. We do try sometimes to not waste all of our money on comics, but it is greatly appreciated if you want to throw us a couple bucks. We have a bunch of different tiers with really cool rewards. You get your name shouted out on episodes. There's a bunch of different cool art prints that we do with art from Collin Boy here. Yeah, as well as some cool art commissions. We have a bunch of like a massive backlog of random clips we pulled out of the show that are exclusive to our Patreon. Really weird comedic bits, as well as exclusive segments of Dime Comic Bros and Dime Gaming Bros Happy Hour. After every podcast that we, the three of us, do of any type, we pretty much always record an additional little bit of random bullshittery. It's us hanging out, having a drink, talking about whatever pops into our little minds, and that all goes on our Patreon. So we've got to be at about 100 of those by now. It's in that neck of the woods. Like there's a lot. We've been doing it for about half the time we've been doing this podcast.
This is true.
So there's a massive back catalog of those. They're, in my opinion, some of our best work, even though we put no effort into it.
This is true.
They're some of the funniest crap we've ever done. That's all on our Patreon.
Oh shit, that sounds like I'm fucking shitting myself.
Why am I friends with you?
Because you love it.
No.
Yeah, you do too. Because I let you be the autism.
You are the autism.
Yes, because I let you be the autism because I am the autism. So I can out-autist you, and then you feel comfortable.
None of that made any sense,
Yes.
but okay.
I need a clip of that. I need that clip sent to me.
Jacob, if you can hear the fart, could you clip it, please? Thank you. Thanks, bestie.
Thanks, Dad.
Also, we have a Substack, which is basically a Boomer email chain. It's a recap of all of our podcasts. We send it out when the episodes drop. It's a little visual follow along. There's a bunch of cool, pretty pictures, as well as recaps of our little talking points, just to help you keep up with our shenanigans. That's free to subscribe to. It's in the link of all of our stuff. We also have a Twitter and an Instagram. Just go follow that for updates, teasers, previews, all sorts of fun shit. Go to dimecomicbros.com. It's our website. I put a lot of stuff on there because I'm a nerd. No one looks at it, but all of our news stuff gets added up there. So if you want to validate our sources or whatever, read what other random bullshit we can't quote correctly because we're all dumb. It's all posted on our website at dimecomicbros.com.
Penis.
Ooh. Good point. Very good point. Good, sir. So next week, we will not be uploading an episode. I almost forgot to mention this. So next week, we are going to be taking a break. We're just doing a 1 week break. The three of us have had a lot of discussions behind the scenes. We're breaking up. Not really. We're just reconfiguring some stuff. We're reworking our schedules, taking a little bit of a breather for a minute to re-engage with our best selves, our best foot forward and all that fun stuff. So next week there will just not be anything from us, and we are jumping feet first, not into the news, but into Dime Comic Bros Season 4, feet first, with our toes out.
Hot.
Right into Frank Miller's Sin City, the first collected edition, the first main story. We'll have a bit of a rebranding, the usual, just updated stuff. We'll all be together in a good mood. I'm jinxing it now, I promise. And we'll be jumping in with new stuff. So hang in there. I know you can't get your fix of Collin and his special monkey boy moments, but just hang on. It's 1 week. You'll be fine. Just make sure to tune in. It's greatly appreciated. Bye-bye.
Bye. So I'm gonna tell everyone about
That's nice. That's nice, sweetie. You will hit my dick.
No, I wouldn't. I would caress your dick.
That's true.
Gay.
Damn, Jacob got that riz. Jacob just texted me, tonight I've told a pregnant stranger, sit on my lap, and you guys say I'm not outgoing enough.
What?
It's in the group chat.
He said that?
Yeah, and I'm
He
reading.
for real said that?
I don't know, but I'm reading it to Jacob through the microphone because he has to edit this.
Okay, true.
I'm a smartass like that.